Only Facts Extra. We're here for another controversial topic and
cancelled content.
Shane's trying to get us cancelled every week.
Cancelled content.
Shane,
that's the hashtag, bro. I'm trying to get the hashtag working.
If you haven't seen the clips that have been going out on the Instagram, follow us on Instagram, Only Facts Extra. Shane was calling Eddie Hearn all type of colonizers and slave traders and bandingo.
No, but the thing is, his dad said they were slave traders, not me. That's what his dad said. It's on YouTube, bro. His dad said they were slave traders.
Last week, Shane and I had a conversation. It was a really good video. It's one of my favorite videos that we've done. And we fucked up the audio and it didn't go out. And it was just me and Shane debating what it means to be pro-black. And I spoke to a lot of people about this. Everyone had a different view on it. And then there was another element added to it. And this is a topic we'll come back to again at some point in the future. But there was another element added to it where I started talking to my Christian brothers. And they had a whole... Shane and I are both... Shane's kind of spiritual. I'm non-religious.
But... we both grew up in...
We both grew up in kind of Christian households. We're Caribbean,
I can tell, yeah.
So that added a whole different dynamic. So I said, you know what, let me shout my guy. Let me shout Chris. Because I knew I had to get someone sensible to represent the Christian man then. Because my other brothers would be vexed if man weren't representing... you know what I'm saying? Man weren't representing the Christian man then.
No, but this is the thing.
I love that still. Because one of the things is, why it's so important is because... I genuinely feel like in no other culture is religion and race so like
divisive.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so with black people, like I feel like
with black people, everything's divisive.
Yeah, facts.
Everything's divisive. Facts, I sent you a video today. I sent you both a video today about man wearing quarter zips over night text. Divisive. Like everything's divided, and we'll come to that at some point in the future. Let me just introduce the topic first. The topic of this video is. And obviously there's a title one that you probably know already, but can you be Christian and pro-black? A lot of my Christian brothers have said that they are pro-black, and last week for research for our show, we didn't even talk about Christianity, but it was just, are you pro-black? What's your definition? And everyone I spoke to, apart from Dele that I just mentioned to you lot, he's the only one that said no. Every single other person, whether they date outside their race, whether they act in accordance with what we think is pro-black, whatever people do, every single black person I asked said yes.
And the craziest thing is, the maddest thing is, I'm around Christians all the time, just being from a Christian household, and I genuinely feel like it's impossible. But me personally, I genuinely feel like by my definition it's impossible, but I also feel like by other people's definition it's impossible as well.
That's what Dele said. He said like he feels like for his definition of, not his definition of pro-black, but his definition of what it means to be a Christian, he felt like it was impossible.
One of the reasons what kind of inspired this conversation originally first was actually Charlie Kirk. Because a lot of people, Nick was saying, a lot of people were saying, oh, he's still a Christian. And Nick was like, bun that.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Niggas saying bun that.
Bro, of course. His missus is 10 weeks pregnant. Or 8 weeks pregnant, and he died 10 weeks ago. It's like his peak.
Literally. So them man can't even do... Well, we know what he ain't.
We already know. But yeah, Chris, we'll pass over to you, because you've done a lot of intros. So, you tell me about your view, because I know that
your definition of what? I want to know. What's your definition of being pro-black?
Pro-black, for us, by us. You live by us. You support us. You are for us. You go that extra mile to live black in everything that you do. So whether it may be dating wise, whether it may be, I don't know, down to where you shop, down to, the uplifting of culture. And it's not just for us, by us, and just being like, I said myself, I'm Nigerian. So it can't just be a case of I'm only supporting Nigerians or just Africans and not Caribbeans. No,
I agree with that.
All of us.
I agree with that.
You feel me? It's got to be all of us, even down towards the East African brothers, down towards the North Africans, as much as they try to denounce us.
I don't know about that, but go on.
Like, as much as they try to denounce us.
Because some of them are Arabs, some of them ain't black.
Some of them are Middle Eastern.
Like, facts.
They're Middle Eastern, but for us, that's the way I look at it, is that pro-black is not only just a way of supporting your own, but like you live this and you breathe this and you love this.
I agree with that. And I kind of summarize it in a way where pro, like the etymology of like breaking it down, I see pro as progress. Are you progressing black people?
Yes.
In all shapes and ways of living. Now, my main reason, I'm just going to cut to the chase. My main reason why I can't agree, by your standards, let me take your standards. I don't believe you can be pro-black by your standards, forget why do you care about my standards? By your standards and Christian is because you didn't put an asterisk there. And the asterisk will be there once you add Christ. You can only be pro-black once it falls in line with Christ, because 9 times out of 10, your faith and your spirituality and being a Christian, you have to, Jesus is my Lord and Savior under everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you look at things, you don't think, is this pro-black first? Is this being a good Christian first? And then is it being pro-black will be then second? And for me, I feel like if being pro-black is an afterthought, then I don't think you can be two. You can only be pro-black so long as it falls in line with being Christian. And that's why I feel like you can't be pro-black and Christian.
Okay. I understand exactly where you're coming from with that. And I think that falls in line with one of the golden rules. I think it's called the golden rule of Christianity, is love others as Christ loved the church, as God loved it. Love others as God loved the church. Basically, like projection of love. Overall. Of course. That's the main key thing with Christianity. Where I say that you can be is because just because I'm so for my brothers and sisters and for black people doesn't mean I'm projecting hate towards others. It's not like as if I'm saying, I hate white people, or I hate Asian people, or anything like that. No, it's love to them, but there's another level of love that I have for these lot, because these are my own, you feel me?
I hear you.
It's sort of like
your brethren versus your brother.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a form of biasness to some extent, of where like, this is mine, these are my people, so I'm going to go that extra mile to show that extra bit of love.
So I'm not even letting you talk.
No, it's cool, because I've got different issues. I'll let you have this conversation before I bring it up.
One of my biggest issues with this is I feel like you can progress black people. I feel like you personally, you might have a black wife, black family, you might contribute to black churches or black businesses. Like, you can definitely uplift black people being Christian. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but by nature, your intention on a day-to-day basis is to be Christian.
Yes,
your intention isn't to be pro-black. It might be a byproduct of your Christianity. Yeah, you're going to see a black person you're going to give. But the difference is, and I feel like that's all religions. I don't believe there's any religion you can be, maybe other than Rastafarianism, but Rastafarian probably isn't even a religion.
But specifically,
it's a religion. Yeah.
Specifically, Abrahamic religion.
Abrahamic religions.
Because Eastern religions are more philosophical.
Because for me, when you look at progressing black people and black issues, 9 times out of 10, there is issues that are completely different to religion and completely isolated away from religion. So then how do you balance Christ with that?
That brings I just want to jump in because that brings one of my issues, and I don't want it to feel like it's a 2-on-1 situation.
No.
One of my thing is, coming from West London, one amount of my brethren are Muslim, one amount of my brethren are Christian. And so there's this constant battle between the two. And so how do you, do you know what I'm saying? If you have for example, we see the situation in Nigeria, which I'm not educated on. I see a lot of my brothers not really posting about Gaza because they feel like it's not really our people. And Shane feels that way, even though Shane's non-religious. And then these people are posting, the Christians are like, oh, let me now take up for the Nigeria thing, more on a Christian solidarity thing than a ethnic solidarity thing. Shane feels like because they're not black, they're also not our problem.
I don't fight for people that don't fight for me.
Cool.
I know people that fight for me.
I'm fighting against colonialism in all forms. So even if the people that are being colonized don't like me, it don't matter. Your enemies are my enemies, so we're all going to fight them together. That's my thing. But there's a lot of, I think that from I've actively tried to do things that progress the black community, although because I date white women, Shane marks me down. But did you not know that?
No.
Oh, fair enough. I'm glad I didn't seem like the kind of brother that, you know what I'm saying, just off the rip. I'm taking the piss. I'm taking the piss. But for me, it's like, there does seem to be a conflict between, I feel like one of the major things that have stopped us when we've tried to create big black revolutions moving together in America. Been religion. Africa's the ground zero for this. America is a smaller version of that. The religion comes into the way.
100%.
If Malcolm X is doing stuff straight away you got Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Immediately, people just gravitate towards one more than the other, etc. So I don't know what you think about that.
I think it's one of those things there. Like, one, it's so key that you mentioned about Abrahamic faiths and Abrahamic religions, because we all, again, coming from this Abrahamic book that we follow pretty much the same laws, same principles, that pretty much
same characters
mold you into that person, that ideal Muslim or the ideal Christian or things along those lines. It's so funny of when you look, like, specifically in the Bible, I know, and this is just me saying from the top of my head, I don't know what it says, like, verbatim, but it describes a lot of the early Christians, a lot of the early, pretty much anyone that was evolved in or around, you know, the Holy Land at that stage, they were described as having locked hair,
of course,
dark skin,
of course,
copper skin,
copper skinned, exactly. So all of these things, you look at these are features of black people anyway,
of course,
and foremost. So you look at that and think, okay, so we all ascend pretty much from this one chosen land.
The issue, I know exactly where you're going with
That's that one chosen land. So when I see things as like the differentiations of, did I say it correctly? The differentiations. Differentiations. Thank you. I like being corrected when I speak. So when I see the differentiations of Muslims or Christians and things along those lines, I see it as, okay, this is a social like build. This is built from society within itself. I've got brothers that are acts that I love to death.
Is race not also a social build?
Oh, race is also a social build, 100%.
But
also, it's based on where you're from, because unfortunately, I remember thinking this. Funny enough, I think it was even a couple of weeks ago. I was like, when I go back to Nige, do I look at myself as black in Nige?
No.
Yeah, I do.
You might, because Jamaica's different. But I understand what you're saying. When you're in a black dominated country, everyone's black. So you're not categorized as black.
Bro.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So yourself as Jamaican?
Yeah.
Fully?
Yeah.
So we down as like, okay, just Jamaican boy in Nigeria. That's all it will go down as. Or more times, you know what they'll even say to you? Oyibo boy in but you're from London. Same way they'll look at me like that as well. Please believe.
I hear what you're saying, and this, for me, this is my biggest problem, and not with you, but with what you just said.
Nah, he's got a problem with you, blood, don't I?
What do you mean, blood?
It's because when I look at black people, I genuinely look at it as a collective, but I also look at it as a group of collectives. So a group that then assemble into one. So 100%, I look at black people on a whole. So when I'm so glad you brought up East Africa. Like, I always, like East Africans, I also tell you, bro, stop telling yourself that you're not black, bro. You're not fully black. When you say you're not fully black, it pisses me off.
It's not the same. My mum's West Indian, but
I don't like that term. I genuinely don't like the term.
But that term came from like
it came from white people.
The term black people came from white people, but came from colonization. What are you talking about? But I just say it so that people don't. When you see some mixed race people, I don't like to say I'm mixed race because people think black and white. But as a black person, I always say that I'm black, but I don't want people to see my picture of my mum or something or my family and think I'm trying to force the thing, because I'm very critical of a lot of people that are biracial.
But wouldn't that be a case of where people say things like, I know, sorry, we're diverting off into another conversation. But wouldn't that be a case of where people will say like, please forgive me if it's offensive, but they'll just call you like coolie boy.
People say coolie, but if I'm talking to people that are not black, they're not gonna know what that is. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, when I see black and white mixed race people and they either categorize themselves as black, or sometimes, depending on who they are, if they win like an award for black director or something, I'm like, bro, where are you going? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. So I'm black. I'd never say that I'm not black, obviously. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't want that to come out later and people to be like, yo, you've been moving very black and you're this. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just make it clear. I make it clear. Obviously I'm Caribbean. I feel like not being half white is different. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course. Well, I'll bring it back to the whole.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
Like the Christian.
You started the tangent.
No, I know.
That was actually
bringing it back to like the Christian thing. Another thing where I would say, and I feel like there's this obsession. All your friends that said that they were pro-black and Christian, I genuinely feel like they just want to be pro-black.
I agree.
But you don't want to be Christian. You are that. You know what I'm saying?
agree.
You are Christian. You live by Christian principles. You would say
You're Christian first.
I'm Christian.
You're Christian first.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
People want to be pro-black.
If it came down to it, and you had to pick, every Christian's picking Christian.
Christianity.
You know
You're picking Christ. You're picking Christ over everything.
Yeah.
I'm not picking Christ over everything.
Yeah.
I'm picking like
especially for him, blackness is at the number one.
Like
Blackness is very important to me, but for him, it's
for me, yeah. Like, and
if you won the lottery, where would you buy a house?
Honestly,
Yeah.
oh, it'd have to be 100% Nige.
He's buying a yard in Tottenham.
No, yard.
You're buying a yard in Tottenham before you buy a yard.
Now buy yard, house and yard as
That
well.
should be done quicker.
Nige,
They're building the house quicker.
But you know what I mean? Like he's like proper like.
But the reason why I say that is because before I even knew what Christianity was or what Christ was, I was black. Do you know what I'm saying? When I walk down the street, they only see a black man. They don't even hear the religion.
I feel the same.
Can I challenge that?
Bro, this is
So, I definitely do agree with that. I think it's because, unfortunately, growing up where we've grown up, you are challenged first for your color of your skin before your faith, more than anything. You've got to open your mouth or show certain characteristics to prove that you are this faith.
But
unless you're wearing, like, for instance, if it's a Muslim, or whether you've got like a hijab on, or whether you're Jewish, whether you've got like a certain attire that's on, like you're challenged for your skin tone first, because man can just look at you and just know you're black.
Would you not say that faith is less tangible? Like when I mean like there is less.
You can pick up and put down your faith.
Yeah.
People leave Christianity. You can't leave black.
You can't leave being
of course
black.
you're
Bro.
stuck with that.
This is the maddest thing. When you have a child, are you married?
Man said stuck with.
No.
Do you have children?
No kids yet.
When you have children, your children.
You're a prick for that.
Man said I'm stuck with being black. Like I want to be something else.
When you have children, your children are going to be born black.
Of course. Yeah.
His children will.
Your children will be born black, yeah? So when your children are born black, you hope throughout the rest of their life, they're going to be Christian. You hope.
God willing, yeah.
But you can't hope that they be black. They're going to be black for the rest of their life, bro.
Right,
do you know what I'm saying?
Is it possible to be Christian and not pro-black?
Of course.
Okay.
I think every Christian is not pro-black.
The prime example was when you saw the whole thing of what on with
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Well, on with Charlie Kirk, where the fact of you had Christians have, forgive and forget and things along those lines. But my whole thing is where I felt so conflicted, and I was kind of ashamed of some Christians. I thought like, yes, you can use the whole approach of turn the other cheek if someone slaps you. But my thing is, one, stop being selective with the Bible, bro. There's certain stories of where Jesus even went into the temple and just got mad and just flipped all the tables.
Yeah, facts.
Like, man are just being selective and saying certain things and thinking, yes, forgiveness is key and is essential, but if someone is projecting hate into the world, I'm sorry, but you can't look at that.
I don't even feel nothing about Charlie Kirk, you know.
Charlie Kirk is a random nigga. People die every single day.
That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off, bro. Why is people getting this guy, bro? Do you know how much people die?
Especially with the Christian people, because some of them were not necessarily followers of this person. If you were somebody who's a real diehard follower of this person's content, you feel like you've been on some sort of journey with them, whatever. If 50 Cent died, I might feel differently to if Nipsey Hussle died.
Yeah.
But if the people that I have a serious problem with are the people that didn't follow Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
But then realized he was a Christian and were like, hold on, everyone stop. Because I've been like, bro, this brother's a racist, They're like, swear down, he's a dickhead. And they're like, then they see he's Christian and go, well, everyone calm down, let me reassess.
A guy from New York. A guy from New York saying, he's a Christian brother. I'm like, bro, you are from New York. Black people die every day in New York, bro.
Yeah.
Why? I've never seen you post for any black person that died in New York. Why are you posting for this brother, bro?
Do you know who Officer Tatum is?
Brother for?
Officer Tatum, some American guy. He's a right-wing coconut brother. But he said on a podcast 2 years ago, and Abba and Preach got onto him, but he said in a podcast 2 years ago, like, I'm a man, I show my strength, I wouldn't cry in front of my children, I wouldn't cry in front of my wife. If my child died, I wouldn't cry, or I wouldn't cry in front of my wife.
For Charlie Kirk.
Cry for Charlie Kirk like a bitch.
What a little fussy.
Yeah,
he's tapped, bro. You're crying for some white man, you didn't even cry for your own picnic.
I feel like a lot of people...
What kind of foolishness?
I feel like a lot of people were doing it to be contrarians, though, to be completely
Bro,
honest.
but a lot of men have a prey to a white person, bro. A lot of men have a white, blonde haired, blue eyed Jesus, bro. So having
you don't know my biggest problem with like when people say, oh, you could be pro-black and be, because there's people that's going to be in the comments section say, oh, well, you can be me being Christian doesn't affect me being pro-black. My issue with that is it does. Do you want to know why, fam? Because when I look at things, I look at things very, very literal. I look at it like this: black people on a whole have been living for so many years, you know.
Of course.
Like so many years. Like we've got 75,000 years of advanced civilization in Africa. Mm-hmm. We've only got 2,000 years of Christ, bro.
Yeah.
So 73,000 years you didn't know this better.
That's my I don't believe in the Bible, period, because I'm an atheist.
But so how
to contend with that as well is that, and this is where your personal faith does come into it, first and foremost, but there are certain things that are in the Bible of where literally the world, well, not even world, everything was just dust. And now it's for you personally. I'm not here to preach to evangelize, make you seem like you're to evangelize to you, but that's in your faith of where some may say the Big Bang, but then there's obviously the miracle of God creating the earth in 7 days. Now, I do agree with you. I don't like the westernized image of Christ. But you got to remember where that derives from. It derives from mainly Catholic Church, which has a lot of idolatry that's in there. Not to go too deep or disrespect Catholics or anything along those lines. I myself, I'm not a Catholic. But that side of things of where it's been westernized, I get it when people say, oh yeah, you know, praying to a white Jesus and blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. But my thing is this, and this is why you can't get onto Christians. If I've been following a faith, and that's what it is, it's a faith, of where I've had personal encounters where I look at certain things in life and think, brother, it was only God. Like, it was only God that got me through.
Bro, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
Bro, what you're saying, when I say what I say, bro, I do not want my opinions to be put on any other... Because for me, me and Nick always go back and forth. I actually think Christianity has been good, has done more. This is a debate we've had. I think Christianity's done more good for humanity than bad. But I would say it's done. No, but wait. I would say though, it's done more bad for black people than it's done good for black people.
And we know why that is, because it's a fact of like
black people are probably the most spiritual people on the earth. They are so spiritual, bro. And you want to know why? What? That was used to manipulate them, and they were fooled, bro.
And you know what it is? You know, just to continue off what you said, I look at religion as a whole as how well can you box faith and hope and sell it to the people?
100%.
And I always say, if you can sell faith and hope to people in anything,
you'll be rich, bro. You'll be rich.
Prime example, not even just with religion of man, like they'll just turn around and take, I don't know, this phone and say, this is an anointed phone.
Do you know who used to say that?
People right
you know who used to say that? You verbatim as well. Don King. He said, I'm in the hope business, bro.
If you can sell
hope to people.
It's the same way, I'll be so real. Look at the lottery as a prime example. People buy the tickets every week.
Just to wake up in the morning. Just to wake up in the morning. Yeah.
I might be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever.
Yeah,
same way when I'll even go as far as that deep of saying man that invest in
crypto or something.
Crypto, yeah. Hope is gonna bust. The same way when certain men are investing in flipping PTs. It's the hope of, you know what, maybe one day I might be able to get this certain chiseled body. It's the hope. Because you don't know me from nowhere. I can turn around and say to you, hey, listen, Nick, I can't lie. I've done this mad work.
But you have more control over that. You have more control over PT.
Of course.
The lottery, for all we know, could be a big scam and nobody could have ever won it.
Yeah,
like, no one you know has ever won it.
But certain
no
people say
one
you've got control. Sorry to cut you off. Certain people say you've got control of the numbers that you pick.
But I'm saying if the lottery could literally be a fraud. It could not exist. Whereas a person training, lifting weights, going for runs and eating good exists.
There's tangible
results. I could be doing all that, and we've seen examples of certain men that do that, certain people that do that. And then there's no weight that's been shed or nothing. The pictures that you showed me of this before and after, I'm not looking like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So going back to what you're saying, right, with regards towards faith, I definitely do agree that faith, like, I don't even say faith, I want to say religion has done a lot of damage towards
black people.
It's done a lot
more damage than good.
It's done a lot of damage because it's caused a lot of division. Prime example is what we're seeing in Nigeria right now.
It's mad.
and also as well was like it's made a lot of people be gullible of where the celebrity structure of a faith leader, and I don't want to just say pastors. Like,
how about whether it's the Pope, whoever it is, whoever it is, bro.
Imams as well that so like or faith leaders that have misled people that further away from the actual faith, but more towards worshipping them.
You know Jim Jones.
Yeah.
No, you know what Jim Jones?
Not the rapper, but the
guy who took everyone to Guyana and killed them off. You don't know about that?
No, what happened?
A white man was a pastor. He took bare black people to Guyana and killed them off, bro. Yeah. He had a church.
And also, do you know another? You know what's another thing of where?
Go listen to that story, bro. It's a madness.
I understand of why you say how can you be pro-black and then also Christian as well, because.
It sounds like you're questioning yourself.
No, the joy is I like balanced conversations.
Yeah, I respect it.
I won't just come here and just try and cap. No, there's this and this and this. Like, I understand, like, for instance, of where you would say, like, the KKK. The KKK were Christians.
That's not even my thing. Like I said, my thing. I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in the religion. Period. And I don't.
You don't see the pros in it.
I don't even agree that it's been better for humanity or society. It's a separate video, but like. I don't see it, and it's the same for Islam as well. Some of my Christian brothers like, yo, you go so light on Islam. No, I don't see the benefit of it at all, and I just don't. It just the harm versus the positives are way outweighed. Do you know what I'm saying? And I have a pathological distrust of religion and anything of large groups of people. I trust individual religious people. I trust you, I trust Dele, I trust Kema, then my brethren are all Christian. But in terms of the large swathe and again, it's the Catholic Church in which country was it? I want to say Rwanda, where they had a AIDS epidemic, and the Catholic Church,
I heard about that. The
Catholic Church said that AIDS is evil, but not more evil than condoms because they're against contraception. It continued to spread. I think all that kind of stuff. Like the power that even if the Bible is true, the power that these words have for one person to be able to manipulate another person. I think if everybody came to God on an individual basis more than on a collective basis, I would feel far more.
And where we all can agree, where we all can agree is if I brought every Christian in this room, and I said, "Yo, we need to come together as black people," majority of these people are gonna come up with intangible things. Or let's come together and pray. My whole entire family is Christian, and I always, for me.
Christians do suggest prayer as a solution for that stuff.
Do you do anything in life without praying over it first? Do you do anything? Yeah. So you do things in your life without praying?
Yeah. Stuff that could go either way though. So like a job interview or like something like that. Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, fair enough.
But even with that, but I'll be honest with that.
You might be a new day Christian. You might be a new day Christian.
Probably call it like a lukewarm or anything along. No, because my thing is like, when I say that I've done certain things impulsively, but it's worked out for good and bad. But I always, with everything that I do, it's always asking for God's guidance and direction.
Was your parents Christian?
Yeah.
Did your parents give you the choice of not being Christian?
Yeah. I was told literally from age 15 from my mum was a case of, I'm going to church. It's on you whether you want to continue going or not. Yeah, I would prefer it if you do, but it's on you, bro.
Your parents raise you with manners, so it's difficult.
That's true, but in fairness, if you're raised in a house of a certain religion for 15 years, by that point,
not really.
No, I was raised in that, but my parents still go to church now. My parents still go to church. Well, to be fair, my dad was into the Rasta thing.
That's what I'm saying. If I raise myself, you see still those videos on Instagram of like them giving the babies the like multiple baby grows to different football teams. But if I raise my son in a house, but I'm an Arsenal fan,
and the mum is an Arsenal fan,
15 years later, I say, what team was the odds statistically they pick Arsenal is not crazy.
So you got to think from 15 to
whatever your age now.
You feel me?
Man's trying to keep himself available for the gallons.
Excellent now. We'll say third floor, early third floor.
They're Nigerian age.
Yeah, I'm early third floor in it.
Man, you got to see the passport.
Early third floor, you feel me? Like, I've had the choice. And there's been multiple times of where I just haven't. But it's been down to me personally of saying, you know what, no, let me actually get back on track because of actually building my own personal relationship. And I think that's what it comes down to. So when you say, like, going back to, again, people's first reactions would be to pray on certain things. It depends on what the action is of what you're saying. Because there's certain things, we've all been growing as Christians to know, like,
definitely the older generation. Maybe not our generation, but our generation above.
Our generation, yeah, but that's the thing. Our generation, we're more hands-on.
Facts.
You feel me? The older generation, let's be no disrespect, they just came here to survive. So they're very submissive on so many things. Yeah. Whereas with
they put in the hands of the Lord.
Yeah, you feel me? Their thing is give it to God.
Like, bro, you know, I've heard that 100 times in my life, you know. Yeah. I've heard 100 times in my life, bro.
We'll be the ones that actually kick up fuss and protest and whatnot. The same way, even Christian-wise, we'll be the ones to question certain things.
I feel like there's a higher chance, yeah. Mm-hmm. In fact, what's the time, bro?
No, don't worry about the time. Just talk.
Are you not going?
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I feel like there's a high chance, yeah. You personally, genuinely, I feel like there's a high chance. When you look at your life, you'll be like, I've made a very valuable contribution to the black progression in many ways, and I've lived a good Christian life, and I believe that that's very true. I feel like that's definitely possible. But I feel like if I was to say, take my mindset and say, this person becomes pro-black, and if you were to remove Christianity from your life, which I'm not trying to do, which I don't think I have the power to do either, you would see that your contributions towards the progression of black people will increase drastically more than what it is at the end of it.
That's one of my issues, is that
I think Christianity will work more as a hindrance to the progression of black people. But you still progress black people, but not as much as you could.
One of the reasons I think is that as a Christian, as I understand it, and as a Muslim, as I understand it, one of their key tenets of their faith is to go and evangelize for their religion.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're and you already said that you are a Christian first. So if you have to evangelize for Christians and you have to push, you've got £1 and you've got a Christian store and a black store, your pound would go into the Christian store. Now, if you
I don't necessarily agree, you know.
If you have an abundance, obviously it's an analogy, so it's not a perfect analogy. But if you can only pick to progress one, your religion tells you, or tries to compel you.
Even if you try 50-50, you're not progressing the other 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Or you, for every step you take in the black direction, you were going to take you're going to spread some in the other direction
of being a Christian.
Okay. So what I'll say firstly is that it will never come to a case. I know this is hypothetically speaking, but it will never come into a case of where your blackness and your faith are questioned, and you've got to pick one out.
I disagree.
It definitely can.
I disagree.
I see that.
I 100% disagree.
I definitely don't think that.
I was waiting for you to say that as well, because I've got so much examples, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Thank you. And the second one is, so when you're saying about evangelizing, now the evangelism will never go as a case of we're having to submit to one side more than another. Like, there's different ways of evangelizing. This, what I'm doing right now, here, it could be seen as evangelizing.
Of course.
You feel me? And it's just a matter of just bringing you to have an encounter of Christ, if that makes sense, or to learn a message that makes you just think, oh, so what? The main message of Christianity is just love. That's the main thing, is God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son.
Not just that. The most important thing as a Christian is what? What's the most important thing as a Christian?
Being Christ-like.
I thought belief in the Trinity.
There is to believe that Jesus is your Lord and Savior. It's the belief in the Trinity. Jesus is your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that, for me, just off that alone, will tell me why there will be a complete divide. Because for you believe Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and in everything you owe your praise and please to Christ, right? And as a black community, or as a whole, we are looking at a landscape that doesn't believe in that. We personally don't believe, as a collective, don't agree with that. Not every black person agrees with that. Now, for me, Nick is an atheist, you're a Christian, and let's say we had a Muslim person who's black. For me, I see all of you as the same. You will see all of us as unsaved. Because we haven't given up. You have to. A lot of Christians do that. No, bro, you have to. Because we won't enter in the kingdom of heaven. How can we enter the kingdom of heaven? We can't enter the kingdom of heaven.
Let me give a prime example. All right. So if you've never had a certain encounter of where you were, let's say, like, you denounced Christ of where you're just like, I'm about Christianity, abundance of whatever. You feel me? Like you said it with spite and hate, but also like you were clued up and well aware. Then it's just sort of like, all right, and cool, but I still got to move with love and maneuver with love.
You might have to.
No, that's Christians as a whole.
No,
Christians as a whole
might have to,
maneuver
but
as a whole. You feel me?
we know verbatim that you cannot get into the kingdom of heaven without accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. This is a fact.
Yeah, but
so you know he ain't, by your standards, he ain't going to heaven because you don't accept Jesus Christ.
But I'm not going to look at you as unsaved.
Whether you look at him, he is unsaved. So by your definition,
you man are just compelling me, bro.
no, but
you're safe, bro. You're safe.
Okay,
you're safe.
If we're putting the Bible on a pedestal, and what
of course, yeah,
and is he is, forget you, he's unsaved. He's an unsaved human being. So therefore, you personally, you can try and help him as much as you want, but as long as your efforts are pointless because he don't accept Christ. So for what you can do is only limited.
Do you mean that in the sense of, okay, so when you talk about using the example of Nick being unsaved, yeah, if I was to, are you saying that if, God forbid, super God forbid, but if he was to go now, you're saying how he is now?
Yeah, he's going.
Now, you know what's so crazy? What's so mad? Through someone that is saved, I can pray for Nick for actual grace and mercy and like.
I've never heard that.
Actually,
people are changing the rules.
No, be real. Changing the rules of the game. That's what grace. That's what literally what grace is for, and that's the main reason why. When like with
so if we all know one Christian, we don't need.
No. Saying this. So say for instance, yeah. So the death of Christ was literally through the power of the resurrection and things along those lines.
Yeah.
It's for a second chance.
Yeah.
So there's literally like. You could speak to certain faith leaders or things along those lines. If, God forbid, but at a funeral, if I was to like wholeheartedly pray to God, group of Christians were to pray or like, well, two or more gathered, the Lord's presence is there.
Yeah, of course.
If we were to come together and actually pray for you, like, God, please have mercy, forgive him for his sins, forgive him, he was ignorant, or blah, 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 and things along those lines. You can be saved through that, bro.
No, but
you can literally be saved from that, bro.
Here's where, and bro, I love this stuff. Here's where the borderline checkmate is, yeah, because we both agree that progressing black people is the definition of pro-black.
Yeah.
Would you not say, as a Christian, the most progressful thing for you to be is someone going to heaven?
Yeah.
That's the most What? You would.
Bro, not just, nah.
So you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Turn around and say
so what's more progress?
Isn't this life just prepreparation for
heaven?
the eternal life?
Being progressive, being able to progress to heaven must be the big.
That's the number one thing.
That's the number one thing.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, if you're saying it like that, sorry. When you said it like that, I thought it was sort of like denouncing everything else in the sense of
the reason you live the way you live here is to get to heaven. There.
Yeah, but
so if that's the case. You personally know this brother, us two as heathens are progressing to heaven.
Duty. That's our duty and our role as Christians is meant to be a case of where actually not just casting you away and saying, oh, forgive me, man, if you're not gonna.
No, you can try.
You feel me?
You can try.
Our thing is, it's not even trying to convince you. It's literally just by showing love, just by little things. So you have like certain encounters and things you just realize and think. There's something about this type of energy where it's just like, bro, the amount of love that's shown or thing, you just gravitate to them, and then through that indirectly it's sort of like.
So if there's a black brother that's not showing you the right love and the right energy, you ain't praying for him to get to heaven.
100% I am.
So you're gonna pray
so they don't make a difference.
100%.
So they don't make a difference.
So sorry, say that again.
So if there's a brother that's screw facing you on the roads, black brother, and he's kind of giving you negative energy.
Man, love, blessings, man. Come on.
So they don't make a difference. So I can show you love, and he can not show you love, and you're praying for us both anyway.
Yeah.
But
that's literally how that's the mentality.
You will progress to heaven by your definition, but one of us are going to hell.
But then
one of us are going to hell.
God forbid, man.
No, I'm just saying based on. I'm not saying this literally. I'm just saying based on the definitions that we have in front of us. Mm-hmm. We've created a definition amongst the three of us of what pro-black is. Mm-hmm. We have a known definition of what Christian is. We have a known criteria of how to go to heaven. We also agree that progressing to heaven as a Christian should be the ideal progress.
It's the end goal.
So that means being pro-black by a Christian should be to progress everyone to heaven. Would that not be right?
Progress everyone to Christ.
Progress
to God. Yeah.
So just by that definition, you can't be pro-black, bro.
Yes, we can, bro.
Am I missing?
I know what you're saying. I know.
Bro, there's going to be people.
Maybe I understand
So what's the end
it.
goal for black people then?
The end goal for black people is not necessarily. I don't believe in heaven, so it's not.
So
Yeah, what's the end goal for black people?
he don't believe in heaven. You have a Muslim brother who has his idea. So for me, when
Everyone's got their own ideologies or whatever.
I couldn't give a crap about heaven. Heaven don't mean nothing to me. What we doing now as a people today? That's what I care about.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. If you've got a black brother in front of you, and you can either, let's say it's me, you can either better my life and my family's lives, my bloodline,
and your bloodline
here on earth, or you can pray over me and help me get into heaven.
What would
your
you do?
priority would be to help me get to heaven.
No.
What would your priority be?
It'll be to help you. Here. Right now.
So then I would argue.
Reason being-
I would argue that
reason
means
being-
you're not progress.
reason being with that is because the fact of you're saying you as a brother.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Reason being is that because it's like my form of sacrifice that's been shown is a way of again me showing you love and you have an encounter to know the fact of like this is Christ-like and also this is something of where you have that encounter with Christ that will make you.
That's still trying to get me to go to
gravitate.
heaven, though.
That's still trying to get me to
But it's
close
not-
to heaven.
That's trying to indirectly
you
get me to go to heaven. Because you're saying I'm going to show
You got one stop before you get
It
it.
shouldn't
It's not
be a
direct.
case of me trying to indirectly do things as like, I'm trying to get you, I'm trying to. It's more a case of just generally back to the whole thing. Golden rule: showing love. That's the main key thing. Or it's just generally showing
Bro,
love.
if that was the case, I would be Christian today. But that showing love isn't the criteria of going to heaven, bro.
I still wouldn't be.
Well, it's a golden rule.
No, but I'm saying if that was the only rule is just showing love, then I'd be a Christian.
It's one of the
I can't even do
golden.
that.
It's one of the golden rules. It's one of the.
No, I'm not.
it's
I
one of the
disagree.
golden rules, yeah.
We're never gonna agree. But people in the comments,
Also,
let us
last
know what
question.
you
So
think.
are you pro-black for all black people?
Yeah.
Every single one.
I am.
Yeah.
And you was, I thought you were as
100%.
well. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm not,
Yeah,
bro.
there's certain people we might have to, yeah.
No, but bro, I look at black people as a kind, as a cause.
Last time we had this debate, he said I hold black people to too high a standard, basically. So if there's certain people that's falling short, I'm leaving them behind.
For me, yeah, I hope if aliens were to come down and view our species view our species as it currently stands, I do not like how our species would be viewed. I don't like it. It's my responsibility even if it's by 0.001%. It's my responsibility
Push that forward.
to push that forward, even if it's by 0.01%. And the reason why I say it, and people will say, "Oh, that means you don't like humans." No, because if I help white people and black people are the same, then the gap between white and black is the same.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
100%.
you know what I'm saying? There's already institutions that help others, bro.
100%, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's why for me, there's
The way
always
that society is
There are no
built,
systems
it's
and
built in
institutions
favour
that
of-
affect
there's no systems and institutions that help me. For me,
yeah.
also, I grew up and Nick knows that I grew up in black school. So like that in my school there was only black people, and like for the that I grew up. So for me, it was like you grew up going your grandmother.
I grew up with my dad.
And your grandmother had a child.
Yeah, my grandmother was a childminder, and she used to charge the black kids the least, the black parents the least, the Indian kids slightly more, and the white kids the most. In Southport, and I grew up with my dad. I would go to normal school, but when I would come home, every time he would teach me. Every time I said, he said, "What did you learn?" And I said, "Oh, I learned about Pythagoras' theorem." He'd be like, "Bullshit! 7,000 years ago, there's a man in Africa that did this, and it's not Pythagoras' theorem." So my view, like Shane said, like it comes to. I know you said like the dust and the Big Bang and stuff like that, but like my view goes before the Bible, before. You know what I'm saying? Like I see black people way before that.
That's why for me, we're going way too long, but
No, it's fine. Yeah. Last point, and then we'll wrap up.
That's why for me, bro, it's like it's a plan to make you only feel like your best life was 2,000 years ago, because that's throughout that entire time, black people's just been suffering, fam. For the most part, as a collective.
As a collective, yeah, more than not.
They would rather you forget about where you were better, bro.
Who's they?
Whoever it was that originally spread, whoever originally spread colonialism, yeah. Because I feel like the Bible, people say the earliest church in Ethiopia, I understand that, although the type of Christianity they practice today is not that. It's not that.
It's completely
but I
different.
do feel
And
like the Bible spread across
text is
Africa.
completely
The Bible
different.
spread across Africa and the Caribbean through colonialism is my main thing. But listen, Chris, it's been a pleasure. The buying game is on, so we have to run and get onto the buying game. But please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you lot think. Listen, we're going to return to this topic and other kind of adjacent topics.
Conversation still.
We're gonna think about anything that's kind of adjacent to this. If you guys have got any similar topics that you guys want to see us discuss, listen, bring it to the podcast, bring it to the show. But yeah, man, let us know what you thought in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe, and we're out. Peace.